Hello everyone. Today I'm working on a 2003 Honda Odyssey and I'm going to be checking my caliper pins. So first thing I need to do is take this wheel off. Oh. Wrong side. Alright. I'm going to crack them. Just cracking the nuts off right now. Alright, not too bad. Make sure they're loose. And then I'm going to continue to jack the car up. And by the time you see me again, the wheel should be off. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back. And as you can see, we have the wheel off. And we have the piston and the caliper exposed here, should I say. And there you can see my upper caliper pin, and then down here you can see my lower caliper pin. And this is the one that I've been having problems with. It's sticking. And we don't want to, one of the reasons why is because when I look at my disc, I can see that it's just got a little bit more wear on the disc itself. You can see the grooves in there, and I want to make sure my pads are going to be wearing evenly, and they're not going to be wearing unevenly based on this lower caliper pin here that you see. So I'm going to be removing this and taking it off, inspecting it to see whether or not I need to grease it up, or I just need to change the pins altogether, or I need to get a new caliper bracket. Okay, stay tuned. We're going to move forward. From here, I'm going to be using my vice grip pliers here to hold this bolt, the inner bolt, from moving as I break off, or unloosen, should I say, the caliper. There we go. The caliper bolt here. So, got my ratchet, and I'm using a 14 millimeter socket on this outside bolt. And I'm gonna, all right, got that one off. All right. That one is loose. I'm not going to take it all the way off. I'm going to go down to the bottom here. And I'm going to do the same thing here on the bottom. Put my there, and I'm going to take off this bolt. Let's see. Make sure you can see it there. There it is. This is the lower bolt. And I'm working on got it. This is the passenger side front of this 2003 Honda Odyssey. Front passenger side. So I'm just taking, let me move this camera back a little bit so you can see exactly everything that I'm doing here. Alright, I think that's a better shot. And so I'm just taking off this lower one now. Alright, I can take the rest off by hand. I can let this vice grip wrench go here. This one at the top, I'm going to have to use this and finish taking off this top bolt on the caliper. There we go. Alright, just pull it out. Alright, at this point I'm ready to take off the caliper itself. Remove it, and it'll expose the brake pad and allow me to get access. I'll set it up here on the top, out of the way, and as you can see, it exposes now the top caliper pin and the lower caliper pin. And we want to see the flexibility in there, and that's how you want those pins to move. As you brake and you release, you want this smooth action to be happening. Yesterday I was having problems with this lower one. I wasn't getting smooth action. And as you can see, it's not really quite moving for me. It's a little stuck in there. It's not moving. Oh, there it is. But it should be moving a lot better than that. See, it's not going in, not like the top. Top how it just goes out and in, out and in. This one is a little snug. It's not moving as smoothly. So I need to take that off and take a look at it. Now, since this is my second day doing this, either I'm going to try to grease this back up once I take it off, this lower one, and probably the top one as well. But I'll probably do both of them right now since I have the caliper off. But I've got to find a way, because at this point, this one is sticking on me. And if it's sticking on me, that means I'm going to get uneven pad wear. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to take this one off first, this lower one. And here we go. And here is the lower one. And as you can see, if I can, here it is, the lower one, it's got grease on it, but for some reason, it's not giving me the play that I need. And so, this is my second time actually doing this in a 24-hour period. And I think at this point, since I can't really understand, since I've cleaned it out yesterday, I've re-greased it yesterday, and you can see a piece of this rubber, looks like it's off too, but it looks like it's full of grease, but it's just not working. It's sticking on me. So at this point, instead of re-greasing it up, I think I'm gonna go off probably to the salvage yard, in which I've already called, and see if I can pick up this caliper bracket here and just replace the whole bracket. So stay tuned, and I'll let you know exactly whether I'm going to re-grease it or I'm just going to go on and get that that new caliper bracket on there. Okay, as you can see, here is the caliper pin, the lower caliper pin. I went on and cleaned it up. You can use brake parts cleaner to clean this off. I went on also, and I took off the bushing, the rubber bushing. Here it is right here. This piece was fitting on here like that, and I took it off. And I bought a kit, a rubber kit, bushing kit for the upper boot and lower bushing from who is that? AutoZone, for $3.49. So I bought this, and I'm going to open it now for the first time. So let's get this thing open. And I decided that I'm going to just try to see whether this new boot, this new bushing will work. So here's the new one. And I'm going to put it on while this is dry. This is not, the caliper pin is not lubricated. I'm going to stick the new one on there. What I found out is that over time, that old boot or bushing that I'm replacing gets old. And with the grease that you usually get from your parts store, that allows it to expand. And when it expands, I think that's what happens to the caliper pin, that it does not allow it to move fluently back and forth inside the chamber, inside the caliper bracket. So I'm going to put this piece on, because this is what it came with from AutoZone. Advanced Auto sells the same part. AutoZone has the packet for two, a set for two of these for this passenger side and also for the driver's side, and you can get it from AutoZone for $3.49. That's here in the state of Georgia. And also at AutoZone, Advanced Auto, I'm sorry, they have it also for about $8.99, and they match prices. So, and they were the same thing, because I went to both stores to compare each product, and they were the same. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna put this back in now and see and make sure right here that it'll work. Okay, so it's going in it's going in fairly simply, fairly easy, and it's coming out so what I'm gonna do from here is that I'm just gonna grease this up. Now I'm not gonna use the regular brake grease or caliper grease that that they give you at the store, Advance or AutoZone. I'm going to use some silicone, because I've been on the line and I've done some research, and they're saying that the silicone, this is called Silly Glide, and I bought this from AutoZone for about $5.50. This is a better product to use if you're using any rubber components on your calipers. Now if it's just the steel, the metal, you should be fine with the over-the-counter brake grease that they give you, lubricant that they give you. But they said anything with the rubber, so that it doesn't expand and wear, it just gives it a little bit more stability with the rubber. So I'm going to put this on now, and here it is. It's by AGS. This one is sold at AutoZone for $5.50. So I'm going to put this on now. I'm gonna be fairly generous, so let me make sure my hands are clean. Wipe the outside of this caliper here, bracket off where the pin goes. And I'm gonna take some of this silicone and I'm going to apply it to my caliper here. I'll be fairly generous with this because we want to just make sure this works. If this doesn't work, guys, that means I've got a problem either with this pin or with the inside of this chamber that the pin goes into, and I'm going to have to break down and go get a new caliper bracket to put on. So hopefully this will work. It's a much cheaper fix for right now, so I'm gonna got it on there pretty good. So now I'm gonna take it in and put it in here and see how it works for me. Seems to be doing what I need it to do. Gonna just wipe some more grease on this. I'm not grease, I'm sorry, this Silly Glide. It's a silicone based lubricant. I want to keep calling it grease, and it's not. So seems to be okay. You can see what I'm doing here. I want to use my other hand, it's getting in the way. Seems to make sure it's pretty lubricated. I'm gonna just reach down and get some more of this and put it on there on the pin again. So I just want to make sure I've got enough grease, or I keep calling it grease, guys, I'm sorry. This Silly Glide, the silicone lubricant. Okay, I've got that on there. I think it's pretty smooth. It's still not as loose as this top one, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to be, because it's got that rubber bushing, that rubber tip at the end of it. So that, but as far as I can see in my brake pads, they're wearing pretty evenly. So I got to this in time. Something just basically told me to check it. So I checked it, and I saw that this was sticking yesterday, and I put the regular grease on it, and I saw that it was still a little hard today. it wasn't as moving as easily. And I'm hoping, guys, that this will work. If not, then I will definitely be replacing this bracket right here that holds the 2 pins. So I'm just going to go with this for now. And then what I probably will do is give it maybe a day or 2. And if it doesn't work, if it's sticking on me again, then I'll do a video showing me removing and replacing this caliper bracket. Okay, all right, so I've got that going pretty good. This one I lubed up yesterday, so I'm not really concerned about the upper one. The upper one does not have the rubber piece. It's just one metal piece in there. I mean, one metal caliper pin. Doesn't have the rubber bushing like this one does at the tip of it. So this one I greased up yesterday, and this one is okay. So I'm not really going to fool with that one. I'm just going to leave that one alone. And this one I'm going to go on and put the boot on it. That came from AutoZone in the kit. So I'm going to replace that. So I'm going to remove this now. I'm satisfied with the grease, or with, I'm sorry guys, here I go again. I'm satisfied with the silicone lubricant for this. So maybe just a little bit more for good measure. Maybe just a little bit more for good measure. Okay. So now I'm going to place the caliper pin back through here, the boot. And that boot will make sure I can get it on there properly. Would be what I need to do. Okay, it's on the bolt at the top, and now this part down here will go here. This piece here will fit back over the hole here on the caliper bracket. So let's see if I can. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm gonna try to clean my hands up a little bit. They're a little silicone-y, and get that bracket piece back on there. So I just spin it around until I get my boot back over the lip down here at the bottom, so that you don't get any dirt or air, debris, you know, that type of stuff in there. And I'm spinning it. Oh, is it gonna work? I gotta get it on. Let me wipe this boot off a little bit. Rag. Okay. My fingers are sliding there, so I'm gonna kind of. Okay. All right. I have the boot on. It's on. Check it all the way around. The new boot is on. So I'm pretty happy with that, of how this is moving. So hopefully we are back in business, which I believe that we are. So as you can see, I took this lower bolt off, caliper pin, sliding pin, because it was sticking on me yesterday, and it was sticking on me again a little today when I went back to recheck it. So now I've put some silicone lubricant on it. I cleaned up the pin, put silicone lubricant on it, and I'm liking the way it's moving so far. I don't have any problems with it. I'm pretty satisfied with that, but I'm going to check it again. I'm going to check it again probably in about a day or two, maybe give it 28, 48 hours just to make sure that it's not sticking. If it does stick on me again, like I said before, I'm going to be replacing this caliper pin. So, oh, not caliper pin, but caliper bracket. This whole piece here, I'm just going to replace it and go from there, because I need my brakes to wear evenly and on both sides. I'm not having any trouble on my driver's side. It's just this side that's sticking on me, this lower caliper pin. All right, guys, from here, I'm going to now take my caliper here, and I'm going to put everything back together. I got my C-clamp, that's what I use to push my piston back, my caliper back in. This piston here. So I'll take it like this, and I'll take my, so I don't know if you guys can see it, really. Let me see if I can adjust the camera a little bit so you guys can see it better. Okay. This right here is what I'm trying to get you guys to get a good shot on so we can get there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take my C-clamp, and I'm basically just going to take it, put this part, top part of the C-clamp is going to go over my piston to push it back in so it can fit back over my brakes, my brake pads. So I'm going to turn this piece here. I'm sorry I'm in the way, my arm's in the way, but okay. Now I'm pushing the caliper back in, caliper piston back in. I've got that recessed. Then this should slide right back over my brake pads, and I can tighten everything back up. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Unfasten it. It doesn't take long at all. Now I'm going to take it and mount it back. Get my bolts here. This is my upper. I'm just gonna make sure I gotta get it connected there. All right, that's on. And I'm gonna put my lower on now. Make sure I get a good connection on that. And I do. All right. This is the fastest I've ever done it this way. I need to do videos more often. So now it's back on. My bolts. So now I'm going to tighten up everything in reverse. I'm going to put my vice grip back on to hold this bolt in the middle from moving on me. All right, I'm going to take my ratchet. Oh, that's my phone. I'm not going to answer that, but I'm using a 14mm socket, and I'm just going to tighten up everything from here. Tightening up everything from here. All right, that's tight. Now, just like I'm gonna torque it, just maybe just like one. Okay, that's good. I'm not really certain of the torque, but I do it not too tight, but just tight enough. Put my vice grip down here on the bottom. See that on the bottom? I'm gonna do the same thing and tighten it back up. Tighten up my bolt. That was fairly... somebody just left me a message. In case you were wondering that sound, my ringtone is from The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I'm a big Western fan, Clint Eastwood fan as well. It's one of my favorite Western actors. Sorry if I'm getting all in the way here. I'm just trying to make sure I got everything tightened up. Okay. All right. I'm satisfied with that. Okay. Well, I have my new boot on down here at the bottom. Once again, everything is tightened back up. And I'm going to take it on a little test drive up to about 5-10 miles per hour. Do a couple of quick stops at that speed. Make sure everything is fine. And then I'm going to come back again. I said like 24, 48 hours to just make sure that that bolt is acting properly. That it's not getting stuck again. So thank you. I want to thank you for joining me today at Save Me Money. And hopefully this works. Feel free to subscribe. I'm new, and if there's anything that I can help you out with, I would be more than happy to do that. And once again, I'm working on a 2003 Honda Odyssey front passenger wheel caliper. So, all right, thank you so much. Hope to see you again soon. Stay tuned.